Greetings. Welcome to the next video, I guess, that I'm recording for my senior project games I'm working on. I'll be recording myself making a level just to kind of show the process of how I've been making the content for this project. We're in the stage of creating content, or at least I am. I'm making levels that tutorialize and attempt to teach programming concepts in Lua and also in our game systems themselves. We have a lot more functionality and features since the last video, but I'm not going to go over all of them. I'm just going to create a level that shows off some of this stuff, or maybe I will demo some of the levels, and then get you up to speed, and then we'll kind of get to the point where we're making a level. Is this building right now? Don't know why I chose that desktop. Okay, so let's go ahead and play a level. I'm just gonna throw that into the trash. And let's take a look at some of these levels while we have them. So here's the first level. We're just introducing the basic game mechanics. So here we have a sign that can be double clicked, and you can read what the sign says. Use the arrow keys to move into blocks to push them, walk over treasure to pick it up, get to the portal at the other side of the level to win. So yeah, pretty straightforward. You can use the arrow keys to move. You can see that we're getting logged console output for all the actions that are being taken here. In the future, we're going to be filtering out we will allow to filter the log levels of the various outputs here so that you can kind of select the things that you want. You can ignore errors and standard out and only look at things that relate to your quest, for example. So we can do that. Walk over items to pick them up, as you can see here. Walk over the sign. Actually, in this level, I haven't implemented it, but we can provide user scripts that can add the ability to, for authors can choose to log things to the quest log, and typically we would do that with things like signs or that type of stuff. So we're just going to finish this level. So yeah, I was just moving the arrow keys to move around and walk into the goal. Currently, the level just dumps you right back at the main menu screen, and we want to fix that in the future. So that will be changing at some indeterminate point in the future. For now, just ignore it. Here is another level, level 2. I'll just show you maybe 2 levels and then kind of get to making a level. So we have a player. We have signs here. We can open the signs and see that they say things. This one says, press I to print your inventory to the output window. Items will be listed with a number location in your inventory. That makes sense. Same goes with here. Sorry if that microphone is picking up some noise from my laptop. Once you know the location of an item in your inventory, you can use it by pressing the number key for the item. Press 1 to use the first item. Press 2 to use the second item, etc. So explain the controls, basically. I'm just going to skip over this stuff. So yeah, we're just going to move around. And I'm going to click away from that sign so it doesn't stay highlighted. We're going to pick up all these arrows. Ignore that sign since I know what it says, and I can just explain it rather than click on it. Cool. Oops, don't walk into the wall. I'm going to press I to look at my inventory, and here we can see that I've got a note that says stuff as well, so I don't forget it. I have a key at 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm just going to use these keys by pressing the number keys. Press the space button to use doors, just like that. We're going to continue this line of thought. Grab that treasure, hit the exit. Okay, so these are some basic levels, and then we kind of add some complexity to this. Actually, I'm going to show more levels. I take that back. So the next 2 levels are just layering on some additional systems. We introduced a level that I'm going to actually continue to edit some more that introduces the idea of controlling multiple players at the same time. This level better shows that, so I'm going to show this level instead. So there's a sign here. We're going to double click on it. Move both players with the arrow keys. So again, explaining the controls. Press the space button to open your right doors or use a switch. Press the number buttons to use items in your inventory. Press the I button to use the item. And I need to actually change the sign text. The I button shows you your inventory. And I forgot to write in the sign that the number buttons also use items or give items to adjacent friends in the associated inventory slot. So let's just go ahead and try this out. We're going to move around, and you see that we're moving both of them at the same time. We can hit the space bar to open both doors. And then you'll notice that their directions are flipped. So if I move my left character to the left, it'll move the right character to the right. So we're getting some reflection going on here. So we're both going to move down to this key. I'm going to press space, and one of them is going to hit the switch. And then one of them has a key. The problem is it's the one on the left, not the right. So I can press 1, nothing's going to happen because I'm not near the one on the left is the one with the key. So I'm going to move next to my friend here, press 1 to give him the key, and you'll see that player used key on player. We're going to move back over here and use the key on this door. Boom, just like that. In the future, I'm going to implement an event that handles swapping inventories of players that just bump into each other. So that'll make it a little bit easier. We're going to move over here, use these switches. You don't have to stand on them to use them. You can also be next to them. That makes those pits disappear. And then we're going to move over to here, hit these switches, and it's going to unlock those doors. And then we're just going to use these doors and walk right through. Okay, so these are all levels that I've made with our existing in-game editor. And then I'll just demo this one, but I'll not finish it. I'll just show you what it looks like. So this level, that was a weird artifact, has a player. I can't edit that, so it's going to complain to me. So here I just have the player, and I can only control a player. I can't edit this ghost, which is funny. I mean, it's not funny. It's tragic, actually. But I can control this player just the way I normally do. And so the controls were the same. So normally this game we use scripts to code things, but these intro levels are just explaining the game systems using standard control schemes and just introducing the mechanics of how things work, like switches, keys, doors, that type of stuff. And then we introduce the scripting aspect in the next level pack. So, and you'll typically be doing the same things in the next level pack, but now you'll be doing them using Lua scripting as opposed to keyboard and arrow key controls. So I'm just going to move up to this switch here, or actually let's look at what the sign says. What does it say? It says press space to use adjacent switches. Use the top switch to move the ghost up. So here you can see that we actually have the ability to control the ghost using these switches. So I can just move around to these different switches and control the ghost. And what you'll basically do for the rest of this level is just move your ghost around this maze, picking up treasure, getting him to this end goal, and then you can move into that goal to complete the level. So the way that goals work is that all the goals have to be occupied to finish the level. So that's that. And then I have some levels that are teaching some intro programming concepts. And I think I will show the most recent one here to kind of show you where we're at currently in learning and teaching programming concepts. So this is the last most recent level. This level explains loops. So that might be hard to read, so I'm just going to go ahead and read it. The sign says, loops are a convenient way of repeating some work. Why would you want to repeat work? Well, if you have to perform a task multiple times and the task is repetitive, you want to write a loop that describes the task once and then repeats. I should probably change the text here as well. Repeats the task until it is complete. Simple, I guess. Let's have your bot practice a loop and also get some exercise. Tell your bot to run from this sign to the right sign 6 times. 6 times right and 6 times left with the following code. And then here's a code snippet that you can actually copy and paste that we will just do. So we're learning here, so we're not really concerned about the player deriving this code. We can just feed it to them and explain what it does and then have them layer it on in later stages. And then here we just kind of explain what loops are. So the syntax for range-based loops in Lua is as follows. For bracket number equals start end, do something end. Number is a name you want to give the body of the loop inside the do something block. Sometimes you need to know where you're at in a loop. Anyway, we're structurally explaining the syntax of what loops are in Lua here. So, but really, just to complete this level, all we really have to do is just execute that script that we provided the player, that we provided some explanation for. So we just move the bot left, we loop 6 times running between the signs, and then complete the level. So let's see what happens. Press play. Oh, it's counting. And I believe the sign said 6 times. Yeah, 6 times. So this is running slower than I would like. We're going to implement a fast forward button at some point too. 5. Boom, 6. The door's unlocked. 6. Okay. Now what we've got to do is move the bot right, 2, and then up. I'm going to say 15 times, but I could be wrong with that. To finish the level. Might as well finish it. Close that. Yes, okay, alright. So yeah, that is where we are at. We are now going to add a new level at world. We're going to call this level items. So we're going to introduce using items from the scripting side of things. So this is something new. Items. Well, I'm just gonna say items. I'm not gonna be clever here. I'll be clever later when I'm not recording video. Cool. So let's go ahead and edit this level. So here we start, and I think for this level I'm gonna be clever. We're gonna do. I'll draw the map for now, explaining it as I go. But we're gonna split this into. We're gonna create a little room here that contains the player. And then we're just going to have this little thing that goes around here that takes the player to the end. So the player, we're going to have a player that's controlled, and then we're going to have a bot that's also controlled. And they're going to be separated, and they're going to be interacting with each other in a way that I'll explain in a second. So we're just going to start by placing a player just right here. Actually, no, I want this to be a bot. I don't want to deal with finding a way to have the player reach into the chest and grab things. Do I? Yeah. I'll make it a bot instead. Okay, so we're going to have a bot here. So we're just going to have 2 bots. You're controlling 2 bots now. All right. We will have the bot. No, 2 bots. We'll have 2 bots. I'm not going to overcomplicate this. So, cool. Then we're just going to make a little room in here. And we're just going to explain more functions for the bots to use. So this is going to be like we're layering on more systems for the player to learn. I'm going to create a door there. We're not going to lock it. I think we'll just leave it the way it is. And then we'll add a bot there too. Okay, so some new things that we need to add here is we want to disable the ability for players to modify the properties of things and script things from play mode. So these are the properties for play mode that we want to allow. So we want to allow selection and yeah. Disable modifying scripts. Okay. For this door, we don't want the player to be able to control the command line for the door. That would be bad. Really, we want to disable everything there, so I don't see why it doesn't default to that, but whatever. Good so far. Cool. And then we're just going to place some... I think I want to just place a bunch of keys around this level. We're going to have a bunch of little challenges here. So I'm going to create and each of the challenge will kind of explain the associated function for it. We're going to create a pit here and move a block just right next to it. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's do a wall there. And I think the user interface needs a reconfiguring. And then we'll place a key right there. And I should be disabling all the properties as I go. So yeah, more user interface convenience things would be like defaulting or having default settings for these different types of entities. Because typically speaking, things that are not player controlled shouldn't have those properties enabled. So it might be nice just to default to the more useful settings for that. But What do I know? Okay, we'll do that. Then we're going to have so this level is going to be a bit more complicated. Here we are going to have some pits here and a switch here. So we're going to teach the player how to use a switch in the entity editor. Just like so. We're going to disable all these properties there. And then, do I have any other? We want to have a key there, which we also want to disable a bunch of properties for. Okay. And lastly, I think I do want to create a ghost. That you can take items from the inventory from, but I might do that later. I'm not going to worry about that for now. So yeah, for this last key, I'll just place it out in the open, make it kind of easy to get. Yeah, love having to do that, let me tell you. And we will just make this nice and green. This is like a nice little... That looks kind of weird if you ask me, but what, maybe I'll, yeah, kind of even it out here. Well, let's make this whole area kind of outdoors. And that looks okay. Oops, undo that. So yeah, you're seeing the undo function, which is nice. Okay, cool. Then lastly, what we want to have is our two treasure chests. Once I find them. I don't know why my brain isn't working right now. Okay, so we'll place one item chest there, and then another item chest there. Okay, cool. We'll call this one will be called chest 1. And this one will be called... So we're going to name them because we're going to refer to them by name at some point later for coding reasons. Chest 2. So we want them to have unique names. And then we might want to do that with something else as well. No, we're good. We don't need to do anything else. Okay, cool. All right, so now we want to create some signs that kind of teach things that kind of pertain to their little domain here. So we're going to have a sign here that says, okay, tell your bot to push this block using the following push command. Using any of the following push commands. All right. That reminds me, I need to modify this script so that it doesn't have that listener, because we don't want the player to do that. And I should probably save while I'm ahead. Last thing I want is this game to crash and lose all my progress. Okay, cool. So we got that. Oh no, didn't want to do that. Go away. Go away. We can always delete it too if we can't seem to find a way to remove that. Okay. Then here, we're going to create a sign. I'll just create the sign there. Tell your bot to use the switch by standing next to it or on it and inputting the following commands. The appropriate command from below. Bot use right. Bot use. Bot use down. Down, etc. Remember that you can get help for available player functions by running the help command on the bot. I should probably call that bot functions. Or actually, that works too, but you can also do this. Help bot. Cool, that's another sign. All right, you can grab items by telling your bot any of the following commands when standing on the same tile as the item. Code. So here I'm just kind of writing a bunch of things that explain how these systems work. Bot grab. That's it. That's it. Remember, you can see the available methods for the bot by invoking the help function with your bot. Code help bot. Cool. All right. Then we have another sign here. Boop. Can peek inventory using entities by invoking the peek method. When next to an item, chest, or other peekable entities. I think most are peekable. This method returns an array of items that be iterated over. Commands to read the inventory. equals bot peak left. Let me double check that. Let's look and see what we have. We have a item chest, item entity. Inventory items not on this list. That's interesting. I need to find that. That's unfortunate. That's okay. We can always or we should be able to look at this. Let's find out. I guess the sign doesn't have an inventory. That's unfortunate. That's okay. We should look at the text here. So I'm going to look at the code actually, just to make sure that that is valid. By looking at the code here. So here we have the peak. Item info, here we go. Okay, so this is a data type called item info. And then we have this function called toString. Okay, so that's correct. toString, okay. So that's how you would look at the inventory. Once you can give items. Okay, well actually we're going to create another. Actually from this code, we're actually not going to do this from here. You can look at your own inventory by printing it. Just type the following code. Print this inventory to string. So this is one of those things I want to change. The method signature for getting the inventory to string is different than the item reference one. Mostly because I forgot to change for the other after they said they preferred this style. I just forgot about that one. Okay, so once you know what items, so let's place all of the keys in the item chest. They will be transferred to the item chest in the room with the other bot. He can use it to unlock the doors, which I'm going to actually place in a second. Run the following code from the command line. and then we'll get more code here. For oh dear. I believe it's give. This is why I need to make sure that the item references. Yeah. Give up. Oh, that's funny. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, you can give left. This will place your entire inventory in the chest. Make sure you are standing to the right of the chest when you run the script, or modify it to give down. Okay, cool. And then here we are going to, hopefully I can paste, Control V. Dang it, that's not what I want to do. Okay, well anyway. Now we want to take the items that have been transferred into this chest. Peek at the inventory with the following function. For IV in I pairs, this peek up. Do oh dear. No. Print v to string. We just want to take all the items, so we will ignore the specific items, the info on the items for now. But run the following code. I spoke function wrong up there. Okay, sorry if you can't read this very well, but I'm trying to say it out loud as I type it, so that hopefully you can at least make some sense of this. Code and code. Okay. I equals 1 to 10. Do I believe that actors we can totally just check this right now. I don't like the default settings for these windows. Help bot. I believe there's just take and you give it an index. Okay, yeah. Bot take up I. If you are standing below the item chest, this will take all of the items out of it. Cool. So this is like a more complicated level. We should probably just get this much working for now, and then we can worry about the rest of the explain the rest in a second. This dot lock. Let's lock all these doors and make it so that you can't use the command line for them, so you can just unlock them very easily. That'd be kind of lame. And we're gonna have 3 doors that are locked. Yeah, I really wish these would default to being locked. Okay, and let's place the goals while we're at it. Boop. And boop. And I realized that I need to disable. Yeah, having this for all these things is just driving me nuts. Okay, cool. So let's try this for now and make sure this stuff actually works. Oh, wait. One more thing we gotta do. So there we have an item listener that we need to register called item given. There's 2 there. Fascinating. Okay, register item given listener. Please let me copy you. Please. Okay. I'm going to create an init script here. So here's where we're going to handle transferring items into from one chest to the other. Hopefully it works. Yes. Okay. Function item end. Okay. Local other equals, oh dear. Did I rename this? Yeah, thought I did. Must have not worked that one time. That's okay. Okay. Okay, other equals, we'll just call it, yeah, we'll just call it other. And I'm concerned about the ordering of this, so let me just double check that, make sure that this works. Okay, so item chest, when we are invoking this given, item given, let's make sure that happens after it's actually in our inventory, otherwise we're going to have some problems. I believe it happens in the item reference. So it happens in the inventory. So it should be happening in here, hopefully. Try take. Right? Or in the inventory. Try take. Here we go. Okay. Owner, get sandbox, fire event. Yep, here we go. Item given. So this happens after the item is already added to the inventory. Okay, that works for me. That, to me, I'm satisfied with that. Okay, so equals... So what we're going to do is we're going to invoke a function. Okay, so I was just checking to make sure that this event was firing where I wanted it to. So what happens is that we're going to give items to this item chest. It's going to add it into its inventory just right there. Then we're going to fire this event. What this event will do, let me go Control Z, this stuff here, whatever, is that it's going to invoke an event that gives the Lua value of the item reference here to this other item chest. Or rather to this function that we're going to write that is going to then transfer the item from this item chest to the other one. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to get this other item chest by calling this function find entity, and then we give it the name. We want chest 1. And we can find out if that's correct just by double clicking on it, and we can see that's called chest 1 up there. Okay, cool. Then we go like this. Chest 1. Oh dear. Now I'm concerned that I might have to refactor something real quick. Item chest. Inventory, please. Okay, good. Get inventory. Actually, let's look at the help function for this. Help. This. Help. This inventory. Let's look at the help function for the inventory while we're at it. Okay. Please give me more information. We want to add item. Put item. Puts an item reference item into this inventory. The item reference dereference. Okay, yeah. So we want to call put item, not add item. So add item is where you give it. So item references are wrappers around items. So add item, you give it the actual item itself. Whereas put item is where you give it the item reference. So it's complicated, I guess. I should probably name it better than that. But okay. So, and then we want to put item, just like that. And hopefully that works. Just to be sure, we'll just try to do world. We'll do this afterwards. World log quest item transferred. We're going to copy this and save this. Okay. And do the same kind of script in here while we're at it. Okay. Paste, but we're just going to change this to chest 2. Actually, this doesn't even really need this doesn't need this at all. So we're just going to delete this and this.say I'm empty. Oops. Now we're not going to say anything, actually. We'll just delete that. Okay, so we got this. Mostly we just want to transfer to the other. That's more what we're interested in than anything else. Okay, cool. So let's just save that level. One more sign here. Use items in your inventory. Once you have transferred the keys from the other bot to here, you must use them to, oops, open the doors. To use items in your inventory, use the following find the index of the item you want to use with the following functions. For or once you know the index of the item, first number printed, use the number in the following function to open the doors. when you are standing below them. One. Use the peek, use right method to use the item key on the door if it is to your right. Hint, 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 caps. Okay, all right, cool. Let's save that now. And let's play this. Let's see if this works. We might encounter some bugs. I expect that that will happen. We will just roll with the flow. So here we're just going to control this bot here to do all the menial work of grabbing all these keys. I'm actually going to move this more that way. Apologize if this is taking as long as it does, but it's just, we're doing a combination of programming and playing, so. Okay, bot, oops, up, use up. Damn it, I need a sign that explains that. Okay, how to use doors. That's another important. One more tutorial, okay. To use doors, input the following commands. Following relevant commands when standing next to them. Code. Use up. When standing to the left. Oh, when standing below the door. When standing above the door. When standing to the right of the door. Standing to the left of the door. You can also invoke the use dir function. Well, anyway, I'll ignore that for now. Okay, now theoretically this player should have the ability to figure this out. And I love having to remove these windows all around every time I do start this map. That's fantastic. Okay. This up, we'll say this, and then use up. We'll pretend like we read this sign that we just wrote. Then we'll go this up, and then we're just going to go up like 6 spots or whatever. I don't know. Right, 2. Wow, that's a good guess. Damn it. Sorry, because we're trying to teach all these systems, I need to disable these convenience functions that exist in a lot of them. So we don't want them to be automatically grabbed. We're trying to make this like a more complicated level by design. And also, I have one last thing to do. How long is this video? It's going to be a long one. Okay, we are going to, we have another function to check. We need to register. It's called register use listener. So this is one that I implemented the other day, or today rather. It's been a long day. Oh hey, we already have one written here. Okay, so we just want to if this dot set get enabled. This set lets you know if the switch was enabled or disabled, set to an enabled or disabled state. We can look at that in the help here. Dang it, it's an actor, so it has a lot of functions that we have to scroll through. Get enabled. Get the switches enabled flag. Yep, there we go. So, yeah. This documentation is almost useful when you don't have so much of it. We need to really trim out some of that stuff. Okay. So when it's enabled, meaning that, so it starts off disabled, we want to set, I believe it's grass, this tile. World, we're going to set the tiles at the position of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Shoot me. Okay. 13, 1, 2. Dang it. What if I'm off by 1? We'll find out the hard way. Tile. World set tile. 13, 14, 15. Okay. 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That seems right to me. What am I doing here? So basically we're going to toggle between pit and grass. No, you. Okay. There we go. This is the form that we want the function to take. Okay. Now, maybe, just maybe, we're done with this level. This is quite a complicated level. This up 6, right 2. Okay, now we need to grab. Okay. This down. Let's just say 4, left, 5. These are really good guesses. I don't know how I'm doing that, other than maybe I'm just slowly learning how to guess the stuff more quickly. Okay, cool. So, cool. Boop. Bot up. We're gonna grab this key. Oops. Probably should have just typed that there. No, no, no. Oh dear. Probably more than that, actually. I'm hoping this works, or I'm going to be so mad. Okay, whew. And I might briefly re-explain some things, because I feel like I've just been kind of ignoring the explanation part of things. Okay. I really hope this... So this last part is going to be the real moment of truth, because I've never tested the onGive event. I didn't implement it, so I'm hoping it just works out of the box. I'm just going to move over 10 spots and call it good. I might just bump into that, but whatever. Okay. Oop. Okay, so we have 3 keys. That looks good. 4, 5, K, V, and I pairs. This inventory get do give left. Please work. Okay. That change of background was not ominous. up to inv equals bot peak up for IV and I pairs inv do print v to string. Please be something in there. Okay, so that didn't appear to work. This is fantastic. Let's make sure I even gave this stuff. So return bot inventory to string. Huh. Interesting. Oh, give left. What am I doing? Okay. Still there. Huh. Interesting. Why would I just refuse that? It's not locked. Oops, forgot to disable this item chest. Well, that's a problem. I'm glad it's letting me modify these scripts. Glad I didn't disable that. That's convenient. Okay. I'm gonna have to disable that when I save this. This dot inventory. Doesn't look like it works still. There is a chest one, I believe. Okay, let's go back. I'm just gonna cheat when I start this map up again real quick by just giving my players some keys just so I can test that functionality. Or I'll just go and grab one key and test that part as well. Because this other stuff I'm not too concerned about, like opening and unlocking doors I've been doing for a while. This item transfer thing is the one I'm concerned about, and I'm thinking that part of the problem is the fact that wasn't really utilizing that script at runtime. So we need to fix this problem before we do anything. We need to disable these properties I thought I disabled. I could have sworn I disabled these. Anything else disable? Oh yeah, don't want to have the command lines for those available. Yeah, this is pretty pedantic, I know. Okay. Switch to play mode. We're just going to test this with one key. We're not going to do the others, because if it works with one, it works with them all. Up 6, right 2. Right. Don't know why that didn't go over 2, but and it's saying that the key was destroyed, which is not technically true. And I'm going over too many spots, but that's fine. Okay, so let's try this. Bot inventory peak 1, use left, and that much worked. Return this, get inventory. Oh. Okay, it's out of my inventory's control. The question is it in here? Too much stuff open here. So still not there. So I bet it is in fact over here still. Looking at the right bot here. Where do the items go? Like if they're nowhere, that's disconcerting. Did I peek in the right direction? That is a problem. Where did it go? The key just disappeared. That's a problem. I'm just incredulous. It's where'd it go? That is amazing. Okay, so part of me wonders if there's multiple item chests in the world and I'm giving it to one that I'm not accessing. can happen. Switch to editor. Okay. Let's try something. Oh man, won't let me move the item chest? Okay. So let's take a look at these scripts here. Chest 1, find entity. Put item. I believe put item was the function we wanted to call. Help. Oh dear. Too much scaling inventory stuff here. Help this inventory. Put item. Blue item. That looks fine to me. Register item given listener. Let's make sure that's correct. Help. Register item given listener. Maybe the signature for this function is wrong. Function item, your code here. I'm concerned that it's the item and not the item reference that's being given. So let's find out here. Inventory. I think that we were looking at that a second ago. It was in here. Yeah, that looks right. So it's firing it off with the item reference. So inventories are an array of item references. So that part is fine. That part should happen. Well, you know what we could do is we can just debug this. So you're going to see some of the process of debugging here for fun. It's very fun. Can't have more fun. So we're going to quit this. And then we are going to debug this. And it just occurred to me I should probably actually set a breakpoint. At here. I have not assigned this map. Probably shouldn't do this in play mode, but whatever, we'll do that. Okay. Bot peak 1 give right. And the breakpoint never got hit. So what is going on here? Oh. Bot inventory. I'm being dumb. And also use left. Okay. So I called give right, I believe. I called use left. Dear me. So we're going to start this over again. I want to call give left. That's part of the problem. I hope that's not the source of my problems. I'm going to be so mad. There's got to be a reason. Okay. Bot inventory peak 1 give left. Still haven't hit the breakpoint yet. could be a deadlock problem with that synchronization happening there, but I kind of doubt it. Because that's saying okay, that's saying something happened. So it's still there. So it's just refusing to receive the item. So why would that happen? Let's find out here. So here we have an item reference that belongs to here. So we're getting a return false, so that must be happening. That must be happening before we even get to this point. I'm going to imagine it's going to say that will be happening here. Try give. Okay, so we are getting a none match, I think. Why would that be happening? So let's try writing this again. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This inventory peak 1 give left. Boom. So we get here. We are going to be taking to, that's the default implementation, but inventory has a can take function here that will be called. That's some clever. Okay, so now we should be going to here. Doesn't appear to get that far. So it's not actually finding the item chest. Which is interesting. I wonder why that would be happening. Oh, found the problem. This is my damn fault. So I effectively broke this. So we are looking for an actor, which, not good. We don't want that. What we actually want is has inventory. Okay. Let's see what this does about our problems. I'm sure we will encounter more problems, but we'll give this a shot for now. So what's going on here? Oop, that's a problem. That's a problem. Where are we getting this? Oh, right there. Okay. What's that? Inventory.class. Oh. See, this is the problem of using an object-oriented approach like your scene model. So you have to have all these bizarre interfaces and things like that. Dot texture. I feel like I have like a default texture layer in here somewhere. Get image. World texture. Okay. I'm tempted to give it null. Let's try this. Make my life easier. That's the spirit. And this is something we've been talking about doing with our team anyway, making everything actors. So this should not present a problem that I know of, but maybe it will. Okay. Yeah, I took too long to solve that problem when it was kind of staring me in the face. Okay, so let's go back to this because we want to see that this works now. And I'm going to try to wrap this video up. This has been a long one. Bot up, use up. Bot up, 5, right, 2, and that's going to be 6. Please work. I want this to work. Save me. Peak 1, give left. We did get an exception in here, which is fine. This is fine. Everything is fine. Okay. You can probably see what the exception was in here, maybe. Maybe not. I bet we're getting further though, so let's go ahead and debug. Run this game in debug mode. Damn it. Go away. This is getting slower and slower the more I use this. Up, use up, up. Bot, inventory, peak, 1, give left, please. Okay, excellent. So that takes us here. We have try take item. Hopefully we get this far. That's good. We've gotten this far. We've gotten this far. So we have an item here. It has a key. It's going to fire an event, item given, from the owner's sandbox. Let's take a look and see what's in the owner's sandbox. This is partially what I'm concerned about. Owner. Event listeners, we have item given. And it looks like it has a function that we registered, which seems reasonable. Cool. So that seemed to work. And then it should just invoke it. Return true. That worked, that worked. That appeared to work. Is this a race condition, maybe? Too much stuff going on there. Sorry, too many windows open. I'm thinking it's happening inside the callback. Because let's take a look at this. So let's look at the inventory at the top. So I think at the very least it should be, maybe it is even working for all I know. So for K, V, and I pairs, bot, peak left, do and print v to string. Boop. So the key's in that inventory, yeah. So it's not being transferred over. So something is going wrong. So let's go ahead and switch to this editor here and see what could be wrong with this script here. So it's throwing the exception in here. Register item given listener, function item chest, get inventory. That might even just be the problem. Item chest is that it's not get inventory, it's inventory. Stupid me. Oh dear. Really? Really? Yeah, it's bullshit like this is where most of the problems occurs. But up, use up. Live programming, so this is the process, you know? This is what it's like. You get to see it all happen. Raw, uncensored. Well, I'm self-censoring, I guess. I don't know. But inventory. I really feel like swearing. Give left. Okay, so this is going to time out because we have some stuff going on here. And then they got called multiple times. Item transferred though, so something got transferred. That's good, okay. Which now means that theoretically this map works. I'm not going to play through it all again because that's not fair. No, I just want to get this done with. But let's just make sure that it worked. So bot up to right. And we're just going to assume it's in the first inventory slot. Take up 1. And let's see what it is. Thank you for that. So that returned true, which means return, sorry for the debugging, inventory to string. We have a key! Oh my god, it worked, okay. Which means we can now go the spot, peak, 1, use, up. Bot, inventory, peak, 1, use, up. Okay, bot, use, up. Boom, okay, so there we go. Whew. After much ado, we have gotten this map to work. Huzzah! So yeah, so let me just go over then the flow of this level. So you control bot. He's going to read these signs here, which explain these functions. This explains how to use items up and down. So previous tutorials have explained how to move, so we don't go over that. We do explain these actions like using doors, grabbing keys here. So here's how you explain how to grab the keys. Here's how we explain to transfer items, inspect the inventory, and then give. So that is correct. I'm going to add more here. Or the give left. Yeah. And similarly, we explain how to use switches and push blocks. Yeah. And to take items and to use items rather than just kind of give them. So yeah, this is that level. So it should work. Proof of concept. I did everything else, and then we proved that the transferring the items worked, and that should be enough for this bot to then take all those items, get to that end, and same with this bot. So I'm not going to follow it through to completion. I might do that in my own time, but that's been this video. It's kind of a little bit long. You guys see the raw process of making a map. I'm sorry that it was so laborious and time-consuming, but hopefully you learned something. I know I did. We all learned something about ourselves. Thank you for watching this video. I'm so sorry.